Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Storm Collectibles Gears 5 Marcus FENIX. And it's very similar to the Cole figure. It does some things really well, and then it does some other things not so well. So we're going to talk about all of it. I know it's kind of an old release, but I just got it and I thought I should review it for you guys in case you're curious. I guess eventually there's going to be another Gears game and people might want to pick these up after they aren't new anymore, so this will be helpful to those people. So let's go ahead and get them off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 19 centimeters, which makes him pretty close to, we'll say 7 5/8 inches. Cole had a very big issue with the accuracy for his head. This guy's isn't as bad. It's just a little bit too skinny. The head itself is really nice. It looks like the character. It's just a little bit skinny. If you just stretched out a little bit, I think you'd have an almost perfect likeness. It's hard to say without me editing it, but I think that's what it would be. So that's pretty good. I don't know that he's supposed to have as dark an armor set as he has here. It looks like a lot of black. Seems like there should be more gunmetal in there, but it does look awesome. So if you don't care, or if it happens to be accurate, then that is good. And just like Cole, they did a really good job packing in a lot of detail in the armor. Very nicely done. The sculpt and the paint looks great. Likeness is questionable, but definitely better. At least the old man version. The young one is pretty off. We'll get to that later. But yeah, they did a decent job. It looks cool. So for the aesthetics, not quite as bulky as it should be, of course. Like, the whole thing is not as wide as it should be. They trimmed them down, which is funny because Storm has a habit of making figures a lot thicker and a lot squattier than they normally are. Or characters. Did I say figures? Figures of characters. Let's put it that way. And these are kind of the opposite. But it still looks pretty good. I'm going to give it an 8 for the aesthetic. It's very nicely done. The face is much closer to what it's supposed to be. Okay, as for accessories, we have the two fist hands that come on them in the package. Then we have two different, we have one set of a trigger finger hand and a secondary hand. Then we have another one which isn't a trigger finger hand. I'm not really sure what that's useful for, and another secondary hand. And then we have two that look like pointing finger hands or trigger discipline hands. I don't know. It's a strange combo. I mean, like, obviously you can use them for various things, but I'm not sure what they were going for with the various, like, pairs of hands. But you can hold most of this stuff, except, okay, let's get to the guns. We have two different Lancers. We have one with a stock and one that doesn't have it. I'm guessing one is from Gears 5 and one is the retro kind. I don't remember the one with the stock being a thing, so maybe that's from Gears 5. They can put the secondary hand through by the chainsaw part. It's very difficult, but you can do it. There is no lever handle for the chainsaw, though. You're just holding them like guns. We get the big ass knife, which looks really cool, and we get the pistol, which they can hold well enough. He or the other Gears figures, obviously. And then we also have the Nasher Shotgun, which they have a terrible time actually getting to stay in the hand. And then lastly, we have some heads. We have the old man head with the banana on it. Then we have the young man head with the banana on it, and it does not look like him. It's like a pretty boy face that's really not anywhere near what it's supposed to look like, and it's a very long front to back type of head. And then we have the old man head with no banana, and it again looks like the one with the banana. It's pretty close, but not quite as girthy as it probably should be. Not bad. Overall, I'll give the accessories a 7. It's definitely a good batch of accessories, but probably could be refined just a bit. Okay, as for the articulations, not to anybody's surprise, we have a double ball peg for the neck. It seems to be a little bit stiffer than some are, but that's just the way it is. It still works. It's fine. I don't feel like it's going to break or anything. It takes a little bit. Hey, it's a kitty cat. I forgot I didn't lock you up. Can you not knock my stuff down, please? Alright, thanks. So yeah, it'll still work. You just have to do a little bit more pushing on it before it goes where you want it to go. You gonna lay down? Ruin everything? You could have at least put your face on camera while you're looking all cute. You guys want to see the cat? There he is. Alright, you haven't been on camera in a long... Now my thing's all messed up. I'm gonna move my tripod to show the cat, and it's just... Oh, this review's going downhill fast. Okay, let's get back to it. Shoulder pads are connected to the torso. Never good. Sometimes not terrible, but it's not good. So let's see. We have our standard ball peg that lets the arm move. Very limited on this guy. A lot more restriction in here. Lots more stuff blocking it. You can raise the arms up better than horizontal though, so that's good. Rotation. Going forward, it's not terrible because it tends to stretch which isn't great, but it's, again, not terrible. But obviously if you rotate that around more and more and more, this has to flex more and you're eventually going to tear it off. So do be careful with that. You do have your bicep swivel right there, that's okay. Double jointed elbow, surprisingly better than 90, so that's fine. And then we have our ball hinge wrists, which will not get a ton of range, but they'll be fine. For the torso, double ball peg up here. Loads of range. It does get very gappy, and just don't do it as much, and you won't have the gaps, or adjust for it a little bit more. Obviously, it could be done with smaller gaps, but it does have decent range at least, so I guess that's something we can trade off. It functions pretty well for being as bulky as it is, especially leaning forward. So I'm gonna let that one go. I don't mind gaps when they make sense and they can be adjusted for. Like, they're not always there, so that's okay. Leaning side to side is good, of course rotation is good, and then same thing down here. Lots of range on that ball peg, and the belt will hide the gaps as you need it to. So I'm pretty pleased with that torso. His floating crotch piece is maybe a little saggy. Not just right there, I was just trying to push it up. I realized as I pushed it there that probably looked weird, and it was. So the hips go out to the side. Let's see how far they go out to the side with this diaper and whatnot. All right, so yeah, it's probably enough. I don't think Marcus Phoenix is doing the splits anytime soon, so that should be okay. Going forward, definitely some bunching, but we have full-on horizontal motion. That's decent, some stretching and bunching. It shouldn't be too bad. Going back, again, stretching and bunching. That looks like you pinched a loaf right there, but that's to be expected, so that's fine. Thigh swivel is minimal. Double jointed knees function well enough. Only about 90, a little bit better. This gets in the way. I guess you could drop it down and get it out of the way, and it gets a little bit better. Yeah, knees are only okay. We have these floating shin pads again. I don't know why they did that for him and for Cole. We have a shin swivel on this guy, which is unusual, so that's kind of cool. But unfortunately, the ankles have virtually no range. They go back a little bit. They go forward way less. And the toe hinge is terrible. No, 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 no. You're not going that way. Toe hinge is, I mean, it has a lot of range, but it's ugly as hell and it's really far back on the foot. And so it's just not good. And then the ankle rocker is awful. You're not going that way. Stop trying to go that way. Come on. This is why I don't let the cats in. Anyway, ankles suck. Okay, stop distracting me. People want to see the toy, not cats. It's not. People don't go on the internet to look up cats. Yeah, okay, so the articulation gets a 7. Some stuff's really good, some stuff not so much. It'll be good enough. I think you'll enjoy it just fine. As far as the final verdict goes, yeah, I think it's about the same as Cole. It's not as good as I'd like it to be, but it's definitely good enough. I don't mind having it. I'm not thrilled with it. I still prefer, despite all of its flaws, I still think the best all-around Gears figure is the Play Arts Kai Marcus Phoenix. But I do miss the old school Gears figures. As limited as they were, they look cool. So this one is somewhere in between all of that stuff. I'm going to give it a 7. If you can get it for a discount, go ahead and pick it up. You'll enjoy it. If you have to pay full price, maybe wait. But it's fine. Looks cool. Cool enough accessories. Definitely some limitations, but it'll be okay. You'll enjoy it well enough. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos out almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.